How you doing, folks? Just sucking down my coffee here, about to get to my next workout. Pause deadlifts for today. Cheers, by the way. I wanted to provide just a quick little update of recent things, just to kind of get everyone up to speed. Um, First of all, in regards to, I said that I would provide updates for it, but I hadn't really done so. For my body composition status, when I did my little short cut back in August after getting sick and all of that, I was going to put community updates on YouTube, but then then the lovely people on new tech platforms can't get that, right? So I figured just do with a video, then I cover everybody. So with that, the results of it, so I stopped cutting in like probably like end September or something like that, early October thereabouts, and then now I've just been, for the past few weeks, I've been just kind of essentially recomping my body, recomposition. So working on building the muscle that I lost back up, and just kind of like filling back up my body again. So the results of that, so when I started, here, I'm just going to switch my hand here for a sec. Yeah, sorry, I probably look like absolute crap. The lighting here is terrible. The quality of this camera is garbage, but what the hell ever. So, at least the tunes are nice. But anyway, when I started my cutting thing, so just beforehand, because I work at a gym, I have a weight testing scale that we use for fit tests. And it uses bioelectrical impedance, I believe is the correct term for that. Not the most accurate method of measuring body composition and stuff like that, but do what you can. You get a kind of a rough estimate of where you lie. So where I was at that time, right around when I was did my last test for my maxes right before I got sick, I was about 101 something kilos, like 0.3 or something kilos. And the test said that I was about 18% body fat. So, like, okay, fine. Nothing wrong with any of that. And the muscle mass was about like approaching 80 kilos or so, around there. It was been a while since I've taken it. But those were the primary important statistics. So then after the cut, I had lost, like I said before, a pretty fair amount of muscle mass, like probably 4 or 5 kilos or something like that, and I was sucked down quite a bit. So then I've just been working on recomping myself, building that muscle mass back up, while also building my strength and everything back up. So now where I'm at, I did another test recently, and I'm sitting at about 97 kilos square and 15% body fat, which is exactly where I wanted to get to, and pretty much more or less I wanted to get her to around 14 to 15%. So something that's like, it's like a good, nice, fairly lean, athletic range body fat percentage, but not too low where it's going to affect my energy and performance and whatnot. And my muscle mass has essentially returned to where I was before I took the test. So essentially my recomp, how would you say it? God, get my freaking finger out of the way here. Yeah, sorry, but I wish I had a freaking tripod, but yeah. Monetary and time issues and whatnot. But yeah, so essentially I am 4-ish kilos lighter than I was before I did my test, when I was like at my peak strength levels. About 3-ish like plus percent less body fat percentage, and my muscle mass is pretty much right back to where it was before that. So I have about around the same level of muscle mass, but I'm 4+ kilos lighter and significantly lighter in body fat percentage. So that's great. That's essentially, you know, what you kind of want to do with you know, recomping and stuff. Get it as much muscle accrued as possible while keeping yourself like slimmed down and cutting on the fat in there. And so that's great. So now essentially I'm just kind of working on continue with it, like with that / maintain, but like trying to build up the muscle and stuff. But more importantly, working on building up and increasing the strength levels. So with that, for the most part, it's been going okay. Squats have been going fairly steadily well. Every often now and then I'll have like an off day or whatever, and I'll just like take it a little easy. You know how it goes with training. But for the most part, it's been going okay. The biggest thing is that I've noticed that since I've done my cut and building back up and stuff, that I don't think I feel like I have as much pop out of the bottom of the hole, like explosive pop out of the bottom as I did before. And that could just be, you know, from, you know, the extra weight or whatever have you. So I'm kind of working on let's see if I can get some of that back. But the strength overall seems to be pretty good, and I'm optimistic to be pushing it further and hopefully grabbing some nice PRs in the future. 200 kilos is looking very, very possible in the near future. I think mark my words on that. I think it's coming, and sooner rather than later, I think, and beyond. So I'm excited for that. I just feel like every time I get under the bar with the weight, you know, no matter what the weight is, that like it's going up, you know. So that's good. Deadlift, it's been kind of going back and forth. Same thing with the squats. I don't feel like I have as much like explosive pop and oomph from the bottom, from the starting position, as I did before. But yeah, it's kind of slowly coming back to roughly about where I am. The past couple weeks, I've been having not so great a time with deadlifts. Just every time I do my deadlift sessions, I've been feeling considerably weaker, especially with my comp deadlift sessions. It's just kind of how it's been timed. You know, those days I just don't feel that great, but that's okay. The most important thing is being consistent, right? And just keep pushing. So, yeah, hoping to get back, pushing myself back up to where I was before, and then also pushing further, which would be great. You know, like I said, you know, being lighter, being leaner, and then same amount of muscle, but also like having higher strength levels. Like, that's great. You know, best of all worlds. So obviously with the cut in weight and everything, the one that's affected the most is obviously the bench press. That has like the biggest correlation with weights and overall strength and just weight being moved. However, it's slowly yet surely coming back. It's been a tough struggle for the past couple months or so. Yeah, and it can obviously be a bit of a hit on the spirit and ego and stuff like that. But I'm seeing that consistently week by week, it's ticking up a bit more, you know, every time. So I'm feeling confident that, you know, just bit by bit, it's going to come back. So, and again, like, that would be great too, to hit the same strength levels as where it was before, if not even higher, but with lower body weight and stuff. And then eventually, you know, I'll probably, you know, push the bulk again, and then make the levels just go up even higher through the roof. It's just that I've been on essentially kind of like a perma bulk for quite a while, for the past like year or two, like 1 to 2 years or so, more or less, just kind of eating in a healthy surplus and stuff, because strength has been my biggest goal. And I've never been overweight or super high in the fat percentages or anything like that. It's always been like, usually 18 is the highest I've ever gotten, really. It's like always sub 20, so that's fine. Like 18's not bad or anything like that. So got a little bit of cushion, a little bit of fluff, but like no biggie at all. You know, that's a perfectly fine body weight per fat percentage to be in. But I wanted to kind of try my hand at going to like a bit of a lower style, like in that athletic kind of zone, right, and see how I fare, and then eventually, you know, just push back up, then cut back. You know, the regular sort of rigmarole and all that. Yeah, there's been a lull with videos in the past week or so. I know that's no big deal really, but in, like I've said before, in internet land, that's an eon, that's forever. And that's just been because of a multitude of factors, just being busy and you know, tired and a bit burnt out and stuff. And I think a lot of that just has to do with, you know, compounding fatigue and life and you know, the season too. You know, there's not a lot of sunlight out and all that kind of stuff, so it kind of like gets you down. You know, it's nice in a sense for training because like I don't like sweat at all or anything, but you know, now it's kind of getting cold and rainy and no sun, so like it takes a hit. You know, and we all know that, right? You know, everyone gets a bit depressive during this time of year, and you know, you just do what you can, right? Just keep on grinding, man. But yeah. So I think, yeah, I had the last week of my block beforehand, and then I had my deload week, and you know, deload weeks are usually boring and there's not much going on or whatever. I got like a little PR with the Romanian deadlifts during there because I've been consistently under what my RP is for that, but I'm just like kind of doing conservative bumps week after week, and because you know, you got to mind fatigue and axial loading and all that stuff. But yeah, and then the week after that, the first week of the new block, yeah, it was just very low energy, and yeah, just and also because the RPE things and stuff are lower, so it was just not a lot of really interesting things that happened that week. So I figured, like, yeah, there's not really a point of uploading anything. And that's what I've said before, you know, I don't want to just upload all the time just for the sake of uploading, you know, because, you know, whatever. I have no preconceived notions that I'm going to be some big content creator with a huge following or whatever. So, you know, I'm not going to just shovel stuff out there just for the sake of it. You know, I want it to have at least some sort of meaning, you know. But yeah, so I'm just kind of fighting back and forth right now, you know, taking the wins when I can, when the energy and the strength is there. And, you know, if it's an off day or whatever, then so be it, you know. And that's also just what I wanted to quickly slide in here before the end of the video, is that especially with, like I said, with this time of year, and energy levels, you know, like everyone's usually kind of in a bit of a gloomy rut during this time of year, and that's totally understandable for a variety of reasons. And the thing is, especially with things like this, with training and all that, you're gonna have tons and tons of low energy off days where, you know, it's just not going to be there. The big things that you want to push for and hit, a lot of times it's just not going to be there or whatever. But the most important thing, like I've said before, is that you have to remain consistent, and as much as you can, despite everything in your mind and your body just telling you, God, I don't want to do this, I really don't feel like doing it today, but you do it anyway, because that in and of itself it's a win for you, if not for just sticking with the programming and keeping that consistency up, because that's going to stack that progression over time, but also just a win for that particular day, you know, that you pushed yourself to do that, to muster up the strength and the willpower to get through that session. That is a win in and of itself. And that's kind of the name of the game with pushing, with training and anything that you want to focus on improving, be it yourself, particular skills, hobbies, whatever have you. It's those consistent wins over time that is going to compound and result in great big things in the future. So, and that's the thing too. If it's something that, for example, like with deadlifts, you have a day you're like, yeah, I'm going to push the weight. I'm going to try and really push it through, but it's just not there. You're feeling awful. Okay, well, you do what you can with how you're feeling that day or whatever, but maybe you can still make some progress with your accessory work or something like that too. That stuff matters as well, right? You got to take that stuff into account as well, and that's what I try and do. If the main lift is not there today, I think like, okay, well, maybe I can push it a little bit harder and get some progress with my accessory work, with my back work, or my shoulders, or my posterior chain work, or the hamstrings and the legs and all that stuff. There's other things that you can do. So just trying to always kind of think of ways that you can kind of move the needle a bit, right? And like I said, overall, if you're still putting in the work and you're remaining consistent and dedicated, that is a win in and of itself. Because most people are not going to do that, right? Most people, one, they're not even getting involved with training and this kind of process to begin with. But then there's also the subsequent hurdle of actually remaining consistent and doing it, and that's where most people fall off, right? If you can do that and you're keeping your nose to the grindstone and you are remaining disciplined and dedicated and consistent, then you will go far. So that's about it. Just gonna spit that out there. So you know what's going on. That's where I'm going right now, where I'm at currently with my body and stuff. I'm feeling pretty good with the body composition right now. Like I'm feeling like I'm leaner than I have been in quite a while. I'm lighter than I have been in quite a long time. But yeah, the muscle and the strength is in a good spot, and the strength is continuing to build. So I'm feeling good about the trajectory of things, and I'm just gonna keep focusing on pushing and just remaining consistent. And I know that maybe I won't hit all of the goals that I have allotted in a particular time frame because of so many various factors. But the point is that if you just keep locked in and keep remaining consistent and pushing forward, keeping your nose to the grindstone, then those goals will come one way or another. And that's what I want you to think about too. We can do it. See you guys soon.